So you want to buy a Triumph Street 77765 RS, or if you already have the bike, or your buddy has a bike, and you're looking to buy it, then this video is for you.
for
This
you.
podcast is for you. So, hello, this is Johan. This is Ronan, and this is the Exit Corner episode
Number
6.
6.
So let's
So,
Ronan take it over.
what makes the Trans 77765 so good? Like, this is the pinnacle of engineering. Like, this is the masterpiece bike, what I will say. अब इसको अलग क्या बनाती है? What makes this bike so different yet so powerful and best in its class?
So unique,
I,
yes.
I think it's the best middleweight bike in the market right now. Not, I'm not even targeting about any specific market, be it India, be it America, any market you can think of. It
Middleweight
is,
naked sportsman.
yeah,
Let's
obviously.
let's air quotes sports naked.
So,
Yeah.
what are the specs of this bike?
As far as I'm aware, I was not able to do much research, but the RS I believe has 130 horsepower. It's
Yep,
765
765
triple
triple,
engine. It is the engine that Triumph supplies to the Moto 2, and
definitely.
one thing that as I just mentioned about the horsepower figures, but one thing that Triumph has done very good for this bike to make it a bit not beginner friendly, but a
Not
bit more
beginner friendly.
approachable for new riders is they have a mode where I think in rain mode the horsepower figures turn down to 80 or
80 bhp
85
something kuch.
from 130.
Yep.
So that is one thing. And apart from that, Ronan,
This engine redlines up to 11,000 RPMs. Yeah, it shows on the dash the 12 or 13,000 RPM mark, but it never goes like that. It only goes up to 11,000 RPM max. It can that too. You can unlock the ECU and go further,
it
but
can go higher, of
it
course,
can
because
go
we know
higher. Yep.
parallels can go till 12,000. So, of course,
Yep.
triples can go more, but it makes sense
Plus,
why they have
uh,
locked
yep.
it.
Plus the fact that this engine is derived from the Moto 2 heritage. So I mean, it's it's there for that purpose. It's the,
We can say that this engine goes through rigorous real time testing by n number of riders in amazing and grueling conditions. Guys,
yep.
a race is the best condition where you can test an engine. There are reasons people different car manufacturers test their engines in Le Mans and 24 hours and
24
Laguna
hours.
Seca and Suzuka 24 hours and 8-hour endurance races. There are reasons that people test these engines. It is a fabulous engine.
It is the
So
most reliable middleweight right now after Japanese machines. If we go into European machines, they are a little lot less unreliable, but still, this is something. So we can say the hierarchy goes like European, and then British, and then Japanese in terms of
I mean,
reliability.
Britain is in Europe. Let's not
No, 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 no. European,
like general
British,
manufacturers. Let's
general
say because
manufacturers.
Britain is in Europe, so we can't say European, but
Hmm.
we can say maybe let's say Italian and German,
Italian and Germans.
Italian, German, and then British, and then Japanese. Because
Japanese.
we know for a matter of fact that Japanese manufacturers make their vehicles to last longer.
Just to
So
survive the harshest condition on earth.
just to survive because just going a bit off topic here but just for for a minute, there's a reason Japanese people manufacturers are not going to the V4s, instead they're sticking to the inline fours because V4s are better, yes, but they're kind of a pain to work on
Yep.
as they're more compactly
More
packed inside the
complex.
engine and they're more complex. You have It's harder to work on a V4 as well
It's harder
for
to.
normal
Yep.
mechanics, whereas an inline four it's easier to work on. Also, Japanese people have been working on inline four since decades now.
Decades.
It doesn't make sense for them to start a new R&D program altogether. But going back to this bike, this is not a V4, but
So this is an inline triple, and it has a trellis frame, which is derived from the most favorite bike of us enthusiasts, the Triumph Daytona.
It is Daytona is love, man.
And
I
that frame, that green and that beautiful frame. Ah,
It's just
corner rocket.
this naked bike has one of the best color schemes,
Yep,
hands
it
down.
is. In
I
fact,
am
this
not
yellow
even
color
joking.
too. In fact, this yellow color, you can
This is
see
the
if
most famous color scheme. This is Bumblebee. This
this
color scheme
bumblebee.
was named Bumblebee. I mean, people loved it so much. When people mention Bumblebee in the car world, it's the Camaro, and in the bike world, it is the Triumph Street
Is
Triple.
the yeah, it is the Tram
It's
Street
no
Triple
other.
765 RF. Yep.
So that is one thing. Now, one thing that I've noticed about this bike is a lot of when you sit on this bike, a lot of people say that it's approachable, it's light. But let me tell you one thing: when you stand in front of it, it is menacing. It has
It
got a
is.
presence. It looks large. That radiator grill, especially the radiator grill,
That
front
is
end.
huge.
You
Yep.
think it's buggy and it will be small, but let me tell you, it is dominant. It has a bulky, muscular presence.
Yep.
The Z900 looks smaller than this because the Z900's headlamps go a bit low,
Bit low.
so
Yep.
it looks a bit down. And
Yep.
talking about the Z900, that is a competition.
Hmm.
This bike,
Yep.
Z900, 4 cylinders.
Four
Is it
cylinders.
is it
One
899 or completely 9.900
nine
cc's?
950 cc.
950. Shit.
Yep.
950 cc's. Inline
But that,
4.
yeah,
I
but
think
that too,
same
that
horsepower
yeah.
figures 130. The Z900 also has 130, right? Or
Mhm.
120.
That Z900 is 125 bhp stock or 120 bhp, I think so. Let me check. bhp.
900, 948 cc's, 123.64 bhp. It's got torque of 98.6 newton meters. How much is the torque of
But
the RS
on the
457?
contrary, on the contrary, Z900 is equally heavy too. So the power to weight ratio is better on this machine rather than the Z900.
Yeah, so the Z900 has more torque,
Hmm. Plus, it is a bit heavy. Hmm.
but it's heavier as well.
Yep.
True. And to say, man, this bike is just it's an amazing bike. Now, one thing that a lot of people will talk about, saying that the Z900 is faster. Let me tell you one
Trust
thing.
me, it's not.
It's not faster off the line. It's not faster in the corners,
In the corners. Yep.
and it is not faster in any ideal world. Of course, Steve, we are talking about stock bikes,
Yep.
and I am talking. We are also going to talk about the most generic market that
Most
we come
generic mark.
from, because Z900 SP, I don't even think it exists. Firstly, these are probably custom bikes or bikes that people ask. SP mostly are Yamahas of
These
yours.
are generally built on orders basically.
Exactly. Now, apart from that, who is this bike for?
Hmm.
Now, let's say you have a 600 Super Sport
Yep.
and you are getting old, like me.
You want something comfortable and
Your
more
back
easy
hurts.
to grip on. Your back hurts.
Yes. But you don't want to sacrifice on power.
Yep.
You want that feel in your hand. You want that premium electronic package, that premium feel, but you don't want to go to a Ducati because you're not a
Ducati.
Ducati style. You don't want to be made fun of in biker meets where you're explaining to people that your bike is not a V twin, it's an L twin, and
It's an old twin.
all that nonsense. This is where you go.
This is
It
very
is it's European, and a lot of people don't know that Ducati is not the benchmark for quality. Triumph is the benchmark
Triumph is.
for
Yep.
quality.
It is the gold standard in terms of quality. Not even
Precisely.
Honda comes close, bro. Not even Honda comes close. Don't even think of
No.
Honda.
Honda comes close to reliability, but quality, no.
Nah, no one can beat Triumph in that. And to give a slight hint of this bike, what this bike is capable of. So let me get you some facts and figures regarding to this same bike. So this bike, when it is dry and without fuel, I mean its dry weight is around 170 something kgs, which is apparently the same weight as the wet weight of the Duke 390. So
It's lesser than the Duke 390. In
it's
fact, Duke
it's
390 is
even lesser than a Duke
174.
390 for some reasons. If you do not even use electronics, and if it is a bare bone bike and without all sensors and all, and if you put that exhaust, if you can see, it can also be much lighter. It's a full system titanium exhaust from
This
Leo
and
Wincher
the
or something.
and the picture. This is not from Leonche. This is from a separate brand, but yes, it is better. Now another thing is the tires.
Yep.
This comes. Last I checked, is this came with Pirelli Supercorsa 3. I'm not sure if they come with a 4 now. I think the Z900 comes with the what? Dunlops?
Dunlops.
I mean,
The most trash tire.
what are you even doing? Kawasaki, I know you want to keep a cheaper bike, but up your game, guys. Okay, so moving forward to the cost of this bike. Now, this bike costs for us around in INRs 15
15
to
lakh something.
15 lakhs.
Close to 15 lakh.
And for the international market, it is close to the $14,000 mark, I
US
believe.
dollars.
14 to 15. Now, that also depends on the markup that the
Hmm.
showroom is going to put for you. The
Yep.
Z900, of course, is cheaper. Kawasaki's are known to be cheaper. You can get a Z900 for 30,000 dollars.
30,000.
And in the Indian market, I think you can get it for like 13 lakhs, 12,
Hmm.
13 lakhs, depending on the state tax and everything.
Depending on the state taxes and all.
One more very important thing that I missed is that this bike apparently has one competition, which is much better than the Z900, and which we have not mentioned yet. But I would love to welcome the Yamaha MT-09
MT-09.
SP, because
SP.
this is
That
the
too, SP
RS.
package.
Because this is
With
the RS.
hmm,
And
it comes with the same Uhlens setup shock, rear shock.
it's also a triple.
Ah,
It is
it is
also a
also a
triple.
triple.
And I've been looking at the bike, and people have been saying that this is the best bike of the segment right now.
Yep, it
So
is. It is.
I don't know, should I be scared? Should I be not? But man, it creates, of course, less power. It is 117 or 119 horsepower, but it has more torque. It
Yep.
has 93, so it has almost 13 Newton meters more torque.
So,
And
yep.
my friend, this is a light bike. This
On the
is
tracks, this bike is much faster
this
than
is
the
a
MT-09, obviously.
yeah. I mean, obviously, but for hooliganism and for all the other
MT is
kinds of
empty.
which that you have to do, the MT. So, of course, we would dog on the Z900, but if you want to go between this bike and the MT9, it all depends on if you want Japanese or European at that point. Because, man, the MT9 is also around 193
190.
kilos. So, let's say around the same wet weight of a 765 RS.
Hmm.
So, I have to say that this is actually, if it comes to the MT-09, it's the battle of the lords. 130
Because
horsepower to 117,
it's 117
but then
nm of
80
torque.
newton meters of torque and 93 newton meters of torque. And oh my god, the tech package of the new SP is I
Bonkers.
mind-boggling. The 2024 MT-09 SP is just crazy.
Crazy.
I don't know what to say. It's got a bigger cylinder, of course. It's unchanged. Its performance is same, and the how do I
In
say
fact, it
this?
has a more supportive frame. If we talk about the bike specifically, it is made for streets. So
It is
that
made
bike,
for the streets. It's made
uh,
for
but
hooliganism.
this bike on the contrary, this is made for tracks.
This is made for tracks. Yes, exactly. It is made to hit the track. It's made to hit the curves, and it's made to hit them hard, and it's also made to cruise
Cruise.
per se. If given the option to me, if someone someday comes and says that, would you want the MT-09 SP or would you want a Triumph 765? I'll be like, I want both.
I want both. Yeah, even I want
But
both.
yeah, but
One for
honestly,
the
I would go
streets,
for the
one for the streets, one for the
one for
tracks.
the street, one for the track. Honestly, personally, I would go for the Triumph just because I'm a Triumph simp. But
Plus one.
yeah, we are hardcore Triumph simps. But one more thing, is I mentioned that this bike, who is this bike for people who are coming from the 600 super sports who are entering?
Yep.
This bike had a limited run as a super sport as well. The 765R,
Only 765
only
units
six
were
765
sold around the
models,
all around the globe. Mhm.
carbon fiber body. The seat
Carbon
was a
fiber
pain.
body,
It's
yeah.
the complete opposite of what this bike provides. It's not comfortable. It's for the tracks, but
Titanium
that
headers,
bike,
titanium valves, valve train. Even that, the
the
con rods were titanium.
the exhaust did
Ah,
not give a shit regulations. They're like, we're gonna
regulations.
give
Yep.
you an amazing exhaust. This is gonna be a long pipe. This is gonna give you good sound,
It was a
and this is
limited
gonna give you.
run. It was a
It was a
limited run.
limited run. So today the market of these bikes is crazy. At least in India, it is blown out of proportions.
Yep.
I don't know why. And now, especially with the Daytona 660 coming out, the market is even more blown out of
The market is
proportions.
even more blown out. Yep.
And
It
for
is.
all you people who are buying inline fours for the sound, my dude, this bike sounds beautiful. Even with the stock exhaust,
Even
the
with the
engine
stock
sound
exhaust, yep.
is musical.
That whistle, that triple cylinder,
It's got the
ah,
signature triple whistle. Yeah. So you
it
have
has
all
that
those things.
characteristic whistle.
It's got that character. Now the brakes of these bikes are much better than the
It
Z900.
has got the best brakes in the business. Brembo Stylema calipers. Brembo Stylema calipers. Now,
What is
if you do not have a slight idea of these calipers, these are literally top of the line calipers. It comes in the Ducati Panigale V4, the trans speed triple 1200 RR, and even in Ducati Panigale V2. Like every flagship bike you can think of, these brakes come standard in that. This is literally the best braking package, literally right now, the best braking package in the world.
and you need it. I'm glad the fact that Triumph did not cheap out on any parts on this bike.
Yeah,
The color scheme, beautiful.
they
One thing
provided
that a lot of
every single bit of quality in that.
yes, one thing that a lot of people say controversially is the headlights. It's got buggy headlights. That's why they call it bumblebee, not because of the color, but because of the bee kind of headlights. I like it. As you can see
Yeah,
behind Ronin, there is a front view of the bike. It's great. What is not to
it's just
like in it?
beautiful. It's just
Yeah,
beautiful.
you will be thrown by wind blast, of course. You'll be shaken around like a rag doll if you go those speeds that it does go. You know, uh, but it's a beautiful bike.
It's a beautiful bike.
You will like one thing that I say about certain bikes is certain bikes are hot, they vibrate a lot. But once you start hitting the power band of those bikes, all these concerns just go outside the window. You just take all those problems, you bunch it up and you throw it out because you're having so much fun. That is what this bike is. And
Performance on, complaints gone.
yes, that's a perfect thing actually. It's got a small wheelbase. I mean, I want to again just reiterate that Z900 people, we are not complaining about your bike. We are not dogging on your bike. This podcast is for the Street Triple RS. It's
Yep.
not for the Z900. The
It is
Z900,
dedicated to this bike.
yes, the Z900. We are not taking anything away from it. It is a cheap shit bike. You can buy it, and sorry, I mean it's a cheap bike. It's the
It
cheapest
is.
inline
It
four
is.
naked that you can get. I love Kawasaki for offering these bikes in a cheaper price so that people can be introduced to them. Like the Z900 is
Yep.
there. Kawasaki's been keeping alive the Super Sport 6R. They bought the 4RR. The Z. There's an X10R is also
ZX10R as well.
apparently. It's not a cheap bike, but in the realm of the super bike market, it is comparatively cheaper. So these
It is
bikes,
it is like the beginner super sport machines one can
yeah,
afford for tracks and as well as for streets.
yeah, and I
Earlier
love
it was
Kawasaki for
Suzuki.
that.
Earlier it was Suzuki. Now a
Which
lot of people
exists.
might not agree. They earlier was like Suzuki's era, but now it's all upon Kawasaki. Suzuki is gone.
Yes.
Suzuki's era is
They
almost faded away.
axed, they axed the 750, they axed the
Hmm.
1000 also. It was a sad time. The
It was that time.
Yamaha went away with the R6. The Triumph
R6.
went away with the Daytona 675, 675R, but Kawasaki kept the 6 hours. So respect what it
Kawasaki
is.
Kawasaki literally brought up that dying segment of bikes.
Yes, so
And
I
now
have
people are
respect for that.
considering middleweights over liter bikes because liter bikes are like too much powerful.
Too much power.
And
And Honda
recently
is
I've
back
seen,
the
yeah,
600 also because of
yeah,
this.
CBR 600RR. And I've recently watched the video of Yamino. He told that the more he rides different kinds of bike and on the more he stays on roads, he felt like I don't need 1000 cc.
Yes. 1000 cc, like I mentioned in one of the previous podcasts, 1000 cc bike should be reserved for the track.
Indeed, you can
It's
unleash them at least.
You can do crazy shit. Of course, there are certain countries with certain freeways where you can enjoy a 1000 cc bike, but that is something that I feel like it's reserved for the tracks. Now, going back to this bike, you can slap these with Diablo Supercorsas. You can slap these with Battle Axe S22.
Battle Axe
S23s are
S22.
out now, and the brakes and everything. Take it to the canyons. I am telling you, you will not regret it. Yes, there will be crosswinds, but you will not regret it. This machine is
Definitely,
it's a screamer, and if you unlock the limiter, it will go. I'm sure
it will
because
go.
I saw today Vikas Rajmala's podcast where he was saying that a parallel twin can go to 12,000.
Yep,
So a
it
triple
is.
can go to 14,
If
13 or
the
14 or 16.
if the con rods are balanced according to the compression ratio, so yeah,
It,
it can
it
rev
can
up to
take
that
it.
much limit.
So again, if you are looking to buy a Triumph Street Triple RS, or if you already have one, or if your friend has one, or if you saw one, and if you're interested in knowing about this bike, this is a short, not very detailed, but overview of this bike on a podcast where just two enthusiasts who love this bike dearly are speaking about it. This is all we know
Yep.
about this bike. If we go into much detail, I'm telling you, this will be a 2 or 3 or 4 hour long podcast, and no one is going to watch it. So we have to do this, but this is what do I say, man? These engines. I am in love with these engines by Triumph. The
This is the
765.
pinnacle of engineering right now. Even if we consider GP racing and
So that is all we have to say about this bike. Now, if you like this kind of content, of course we are new to this. We cannot make long podcast, but if you like this kind of content where two friends are just sitting and talking about bikes, sitting and talking about topics, they talk about machines and cars, also maybe you might get into,
yep,
then please consider liking, subscribing, commenting.
subscribing,
What
commenting
are
this
your views
channel.
on this bike? And please let me know if we missed any competition bike for this. I
Yep.
think maybe
Or
something.
even a slightest detail, you can just
Yeah,
drop a
if we
comment.
made any mistake, if you think we missed any detail, you can let us know. If you think we should have spoken about the CB650R, you can let us know about that as well, because it is an inline four, not similar to this, but it is an inline four. I don't want to take that away from the CB650. So
Yep.
like, comment, and
Like,
let me
comment,
know
and subscribe.
what do you think about this kind of bikes. Until next time.
Bye.
चलो कौन सा लेते कौन सा उसमें लेते हैं
ऐसे लेते हैं ना? नहीं यार, मेरा नहीं आ रहा ऐसे। मैं यहाँ आता हूँ, मेरा तब आएगा।
A few moments later.
हो गया अब एक मिनट मैं स्क्रीनशॉट भी ले लेता हूँ मैं रिकॉर्ड कर रहा था नहीं ठीक है इन लोगों को मैसेज कर दो